Hey, how's it going? It's Kirill from Action Engine, and today we're going to be showcasing the Aspen Lite add-in for the GeoTab vibe coding competition. So what this add-in does is it's a way to test the quality of the data from your GeoTab devices. So for this example, we have a demo dataset of a bunch of vehicles with GeoTab Go devices, and they're sending out different diagnostics telemetry that Aspen GIS is scanning and figuring out if there's any problem with the data using a set of different checks. On the left side, we can see a bunch of different checks, so 6 checks with a bunch of different examples of how they work: distance to road, teleportation, idle outlier, etc. However, we can't get into all of them, so we're going to go with a general gist of how Aspen works. On the right side, we have all the vehicles connected and how they're driving at the given moment. We have green vehicles that are reporting great data, yellow vehicles that are reporting data with warnings, and red vehicles, which we do not see here, reporting lots of errors. Here we can see on the bottom a list of the vehicles and the results from each one of the checks. For example, if we look at vehicle B31, we could see that we came up with some warnings and possible errors for the distance to road and teleportation checks, with no errors for the rest of the corresponding checks. Let's say that we want to look at this vehicle and see what the problems are. We go into view details and we can dive in to the actual data of this vehicle. So here we have EV battery discharge. It's rated at 100% from Aspen, so we're not seeing any problems, all regular deviations, very low deviations. However, we want to see actual problems. So let's go and search up, for example, distance to road to start. Here we can see a set of different warnings with the specific data points, the times it was collected, and the distance to road check, so the distance from the road that it found. So this is a way to test errors within GPS reporting. So you could see, measure where a vehicle should be based on its position of the road to where it's actually reporting the data points. So for this example, we could see that the vehicle was driving on the highway and it's reporting a bunch of data in between the two highway segments, so on the left side, on the right side. So this data point theoretically should be on the highway because we're seeing it's driving on the highway. However, it's reporting a data point in between two different segments, so it's kind of off-road. I wouldn't say this is anything to worry about. It could be possibly a sign of GPS drift. However, nothing to severely worry about here. Let's go look at a different check. For example, teleportation. Teleportation measures if a vehicle is either driving very quickly or if a vehicle is going and at such an abnormal rate of speed that it cannot be going at that speed and that the GPS data being reported is faulty. So if we look at the validation details, we're seeing that it's driving fairly quickly, right? 120 kilometers and above. However, if we look, it's driving on the highway segment, so this isn't something to worry about severely. If it was showing us speeds of 200 or 800 or thousands plus kilometers an hour, then we would know that this GPS device, this GeoTab device, is most likely faulty and it needs to be either replaced or updated. And that's kind of, as a whole, a showcase of Aspen. Feel free to load up a different data set, a bigger data set, to find different errors. With this test data set, we're not going to find a lot of errors. There was only a few vehicles kind of doing loops. However, on a bigger data set, this could showcase some very, very interesting insights. So feel free to play around. Hope you guys enjoyed, and